Thank you very much. This is the Ranchester Area Town Council meeting, June 3rd, 2025. We do have a quorum. I don't know if it's Jessica.
She's on here. It's on.
So we have one online. Approve the current agenda.
So move. Second.
Randy, seconded by Brian to approve the agenda. Any additions, comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, carries. Approve the minutes from the May 6th, 2025.
I would so move to approve the minutes. Second.
Moved by Randy, seconded by Brian. To approve the minutes for May 6th, 2025. Any comments? Any more comments? All in favor? Say aye.
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 Carries. Public comments from anybody in the public. Do we have anybody who wants to have any comment?
Okay, Randy and Brian, can you please turn your mics on?
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah,
Okay.
that's right.
Gotcha.
Sure.
There you go. We can get on.
I was looking at the link down there. There is one.
Okay.
All right. Mayor and Council, my name is Harry Pollock. My comments tonight reflect actions that took place last month during a report given by Tongue River Fire District Chief Jeff Barron. A statement was made and directed to Councilman Helfrich that Councilman Helfrich is no longer allowed to vote no. Chief Barron's comments were inappropriate and uncalled for. Some may call Chief Barron's comments a vote of intimidation. Federal law says no person shall intimidate, threaten, or coerce any other person for the purpose of interfering with the right of that person to vote or vote as he may choose. Following the meeting, Chief Barron made a snide remark to Councilman Helfrich, at which I replied, "Real mature." Chief Barron's response was an attempt to incite violence instead of having an adult conversation. Immediately following, Councilwoman Weaver thought it important to get into my face, make accusatory and derogatory remarks because I had posted on social media. Not sure what the relevance was there. Both of these individuals displayed conduct on becoming a fire chief and councilwoman, and it's my hope in the future that more mature ways of handling disagreements can be made. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Mr. Pollock. Rick, did you have any, we're in the open comment period. Did you have any you want to comment on?
Well, yeah, I just had to ask for a variance if I could.
Those would have to go through the planning commission first.
Yes, it's for, if we add another address for chickens. So.
You'd have to go,
Oh, I have to do that? Well,
Yeah.
it was canceled, so I guess that.
we didn't have a quorum, so, but if you can get on the,
Yeah.
okay,
next-
yeah,
for next-
yeah, we can't as council issue variances.
So it has to go that way. Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
They would have to.
Appreciate it then.
Yeah, thanks for coming, I'm sorry.
No, that's
For the
okay.
confusion. Appreciate you coming. So.
Yeah, thank you.
Mhm. Any other public comments? No comments? Okay, moving to old business, third reading of budget ordinance 86/2026.
I'll make a motion to approve on third reading budget ordinance 86-2026.
Do I hear a second?
Was there discussion?
After the second.
No, second.
Moved and seconded by Brian to approve the third reading ordinance 86/26, the budget for third reading. So, comments?
I just want to read something from the Constitution. And so it's very short. And I think the Constitution, there's got to be parameters for government. I think when we get out of it, we get to some dangerous territory. And section 19 of Article 1 says appropriations for sectarian or religious societies or institutions prohibited. No money in the state shall ever be given or appropriated to any sectarian or religious society or institution. And in our current budget, I see things in there that fall into those categories, so I'm against the budget.
Could you be more specific?
Well, we got things going to daycare, we got things going to entertainment, we got things going to the community center down there, and it's a sectarian or an organization. It's not supposed to be a government. The role of the government is to protect the rights of the people, the property owners, and our rights. And that's where we need to stay. I don't believe we should be getting out of that area because then you'll go forever. And then where does it stop? I think nationwide. I'm sitting up here, I'm supposed to be a servant. And this is a different thing for me, and that's really not my forte. But the people that put me up here, almost the majority of them, almost all of them, the reason why they even wanted me here was because of the money. They think we're spending too much. And so that's why I stand where I stand.
Okay. Any other comments? Any other comments? Hearing none. All in favor of passing the third resolution, third reading ordinance budget 86-2026, say aye. 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 All opposed?
I
Motion carries. Thank you. New business request for proposal for the caboose. We had a RFP out to do a franchise
Concession.
concession agreement, for our caboose in the back as a economic development tool. We have one proposal come in. If you'd like to look at it, or we was out there for what, a month, 6 weeks, or something. If you want to accept the proposal, have somebody third party run this to do that. Any comments?
I made my comment a couple months ago. I don't think the government's supposed to be involved in this. We have a lead that's running a hotel down here. And I don't think we're supposed to be involved with businesses, so I'm opposed to every facet of this.
Randy, you?
Mayor,
Is that the only proposal?
Yes, that's the only notes we got. We had some other inquiries, but they had other things come up in the process that they didn't have time to do it.
Any recommendations? I mean, does it look like a good?
Yeah, it's pretty thorough from what I saw.
I'll make a motion to accept the proposal.
Moved. There's a second. Second.
Picnic Hirsch. Second is Jessica, seconded.
It's mentioned. Okay, so we moved to second. Any more discussion? Any more discussion? More discussion. So all in favor of accepting the proposal for the caboose, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed?
I
Motion carries. 24-hour catering permits for the 4th of July. We were gonna do, because the 4th is still out there for about a month from now, obviously. So we have a 24-hour catering permit and a malt beverage permit for the vendors that come to the 4th of July event. It just gives them permission to sell for 24 hours or provide beer and beverages. Some of them support one of them in the past, they supported the Rotary Club, and others are just the brewery or whoever's available for that. So I just need a motion to approve the 24-hour catering permits. That'd be Buckshot, Buckhorn, Silver Spur, and TR Brewing altogether.
I would so move to approve those 24-hour catering permits for July 4th.
I'll second it.
Moved by Randy, seconded by Brian to approve the catering permits. Any more discussion? Any more discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Resolution 02-2025 rate in fees increase. This is it's a 5% increase across the board for our water, sewer, garbage, and other municipal fees. We do this annually to try to keep ahead of the curve on this.
And we didn't change anything else. All the other permit fees remain the same. We didn't add in liquor. We didn't do any of that. The only thing that changed was some wording that's highlighted in yellow toward the bottom, and then the water, sewer, and garbage, the 5% that he just said. Other than that, there's no changes. And this doesn't even get us caught up, it just
Yeah, we're-
continues the growth.
National utility rates in the country, try to keep it low as we can and still most of these accounts are what they call enterprise accounts and have to be sustaining by user accounts. This keeps us whole with the account. So. We are motion to approve the resolution 02-2025 for rates and fees.
I would so move.
Moved by Randy, there's a second. Is there a second?
It's a good second.
Moved by Randy, second by Jessica to approve the fees. Any discussion?
On this deal, I saw that they had the tap fees and the cats and dogs. I don't know, you guys are having the cheapest in the country, we should. One of the things that should be a plus for us is people should say, hey, this place is pro-business, they have water, so they should want to come here, but I could not sign on with people here. A lot of people don't have a lot of money and they enjoy their chickens, whatever. I can't support charging people for chickens, dogs, cats. Not to mention it's property rights. You're coming in a property and telling them again what they can and cannot do. The water, absolutely, it needs to stay self-sufficient, so it should be separated off, so I'm not gonna be in favor of it.
I just wanted to clarify that until about 5 years ago, we didn't even allow chickens.
I know, but just because we allow it doesn't mean we should charge them for it.
There was a citizen request based on something that was presented to the council.
And I would have said it's their property rights and I would want them to have chickens anyways, we have dogs. But I mean, that's immaterial. The fact is they have to give them their rights and to charge them for it, I think is, that's infringing on property rights. And I'm a pro-property right person.
Okay. Any more comments? Any more comments? All in favor of resolution 022-2025 rate fees increase? Say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Aye.
Motion carries. Mayor's report, I'd like to shout out to Timberland Middle School for providing cookies for the crew for a random act of kindness. So that was nice. Also like to acknowledge MDU putting up the nesting pole and utility, nesting box and utility pole for our resident ospreys that were building on the power pole. They had to tear it down, nest down 3 times in about 4 days. So they put in a new pole, much taller with a nesting box.
Where,
It's right on our town property, right behind the town hall.
oh, right,
It's sort of,
over
I mean, by the fire hall, by the fire hall. You know where the garden was?
Yeah.
It's right there.
Oh, cool.
They just basically moved across the road from where they were nesting.
Yeah,
So they're there.
well, good.
So it's
I
kind
like
of,
them.
you can see it from town hall. So,
Thank you, good deal.
yeah, and it was, they're called Timber's request. So they brought in a crew from Gillette to put it up. It's a nice old pole. It's fun to watch it.
Go by it, Larry.
Yeah. The other thing I have is there's an opening on the planning commission. If you want to be on the planning commission in town of Manchester, you can send a letter of interest to the town hall and we'll get a decision part of that 1st of July. That's all I have. Engineers report. Will.
Questions, moving on.
Okay.
Evening, Mayor and Council, go through this report. The Tongue River pathway, the 100% design on phase 2 is pretty much the same as it was last time. Still waiting on Whitehouse approval of phase 2. In phase 1, we did received the notice to proceed to bid that project out. Been a long time coming on that one, been a couple of years. It'll be advertising in the paper for the next 3 weeks and then the bid opening will be June 26th. So we'll see what type of bids we get there. And then the phase 2 TAP grant, they just opened up that application to get that grant June 1st. I received all the information from them. Have about, I'm not sure how many papers to fill out on that one. There's about 15 different tabs you have to go through to fill out all their information to go after that grant through YDOT. So the 12-inch transmission main, They've been working on putting in service lines for people on Main Street. I'm sure anybody's driving through town can see all the tractors and everything parked in the middle of the street. And if you're wondering why they park there, they park all their equipment around the excavation they have, just to make sure keep people from walking in their cars if they don't pay attention to the road close sign. They have to run through a 30-ton piece of equipment before they can take their car in a hole, so that's why the equipment is left on the street to try to keep their excavations as safe as possible. The grants and loans, that has pretty much stayed the same. We're still running with ARPA funding and water development funding, paying for the 12-inch transmission main. That's running up to the tanks. We were awarded the $300,000 with the mineral royalty grant through the state of Wyoming. Going to use that to get an emergency backup generator for the water plant in case power goes out. We did get an executed agreement last week from them finally, so took a little bit, but so we can go after and get that hooked up. The EPA has been asking about that for a long time, probably over a decade now, so hopefully we can get that taken care of. And also, there's gonna be an alternate water source study on there. The DEQ wants us to look at that pretty hard. That way, if something should happen to the river, we have a different water source, because right now, if there's something that contaminates the Tongue River, that's our own water source here in town, so looking into that and see if there's something else we can have a backup source.
It will. Will they come up with a recommendation?
Yeah, we'll go through and see if it's even, from the people I've talked to so far, most of your aquifers and everything are pretty deep here. So they have a couple of different ideas, but they don't know if they'll work. So it's gonna have to try to look at it and see if there is something that can work, which I hope there is. Even if it's just a little bit, if something should happen and, we can run 500 or 600 gallons a minute through the plant right now. If we have something that's maybe only 50 or 100, just to supply drinking water for the town would be, that would be enough. So
When is that study gonna take place?
probably gonna have, since it's gonna be over 35 grand to do that, I'll have to advertise it, do an RFP and see if anybody's interested in firms either around the state or wherever, and see what we can get. So it'll be a little bit of time here, but
Okay,
we'll start working on that one.
all right, thank you, Will.
And then the subdivisions there, gonna get the warranty walkthrough, and the punch list items identified for Stone Mill and for Northern Underground that they need to come out there and fix. So they're slowly working on it. They were out there last week, so they're working here and there. So when that gets done, we'll do another walkthrough, make sure they have it. So with that, is it questions?
Any questions for Will?
I just got one. I think you've already said this before, but my memory eludes me at times. This emergency backup generation, that's our statute, correct?
Not necessarily. They want that, DEQ and EPA wants to have, like, if something, like, we should have a disaster. Right now, we have only one source of power, so, hopefully that never happens. Indeed does pretty good, if we don't, it doesn't go down for more than 6 or 8 hours or something, but if we should have something crazy happen and the power's out for a week, we're gonna be in.
We have every 2 years, we have an inspection on
Yeah.
our system, and since probably the late 90s, I think that's been a recommendation to us.
Okay.
To have something like that, either
I thought-
statutorily, but
Okay.
it's what they recommend. And in the long run, it would be something that's probably just in case something happens, so we can actually pump up the tank.
Yeah. No, I understand.
And it's been one of those deals that's, it's been kind of a high ticket item. Trying to figure it out. We had it on this.
It was all part of it was a bid alternate for this 12-inch transmission main we had here. It was a schedule, but the prices came in too high, and that was one of the things that would, still be able to award that project, so.
Can I ask another dumb question then? Wouldn't the 6 cent or cap tax, instead of having to get grants, can't we use that for that, because it is a capital facilities improvement?
We could, but that MRG grant, the $300,000 we got, that was just my time filling out the application. We don't have any matching funds for that. That's a grant that they're paying all $300,000 in the town. Paid for my time to fill stuff out and we got money, so we're not doing any, it's not like a 80-20 match or
No, I
70-30, so
I understand, but
that's where that's.
I was just thinking, instead of going for grants, everything the state, you know, is real estate taxes, everything going up. If we had the cap tax, we should just use that, so that,
Oh, we do to.
There's there's stuff on the, with the ARP funding and the water development funding, there's kidnap tax that's going in there.
Yeah.
There'll be $500,000 that's going from the town side that will go for this transmission.
yeah, so.
So, yeah, we have to have, that one they require matching, so, yeah. You know, we try to keep that to, if you can go get a grant or something instead of trying to get a loan from somewhere. Use that as matching funds. Most of the time, they make you have a matching. It's usually 20% or 30%, but on the MRG one, they came back and said they did 100 or 0 to 100, so I said, okay, so.
It's kind of a byproduct of fire.
So,
And that's one of the reasons we went to,
Mhm.
was to deal with the issues that potentially would have been from, result from the dog fire. Otherwise, they probably would not have even considered something like this. We're trying to be proactive on it. Any other questions? Anything else? Okay, thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Spencer, Marshall's report.
Mayor, council. So I always submit my report a week in advance of this meeting, so it can be posted online. And I always have to kind of guess the number of calls that I'm gonna hit just on where things are going. We actually had over 35 calls and traffic stops, so this last week's been busy with weather warming up, things are getting a little busier. People are out buying vehicles and requesting VIN inspections. So those things added on to what's already there. Pretty much normal business as usual. Probably a little more dog calls, and like I said, a little more VIN inspections and some traffic stops as well. I started to see the tourists traveling through, and a lot of people so excited to see Yellowstone. They forget to look at our speed limit signs as they travel down, and we get to meet them. Worked on today, the elementary school had an activities day. It's something that I participated in the last 3 years, and it gives me a great opportunity to meet all the kids. They have little game stations, so I help man one of the game stations with school staff, and then each class spends, I think, 15-20 minutes at the game station before they rotate. And it was nice to see a lot of kids remember me. Hey, I remember you from last year, and they know the dog's name, and they feel comfortable now after a few years of doing it to come up and talk to me and say hi. And I think that that's a good accomplishment. And I get it from kids going to the library when I'm leaving the office. They'll yell across the sidewalk, "Hey, Marshall," and give me a little friendly wave. So I'm happy to report that was the end goal, and it is definitely working, participating in those things. The only different kind of call that I've seen lately is burning calls, where people are burning leaves, grass, and that is my marshal's message for this month. There's no burning of waste in the town, so no leaves, grass, garbage, cardboard, all of those things. Not in the town limits. I've had a lot of complaints. I mean, people don't want to try, to enjoy this nice weather, step out on their deck, and their neighbors smoking them out with, burnt leaves. So, there hasn't been any enforcement action other than just education, talking to people, and I've had no repeat offenders. Everybody's been great at putting out their fires and not continuing to violate things. So with that, does anybody have any questions for me?
I don't, any questions for Marshall?
no, nothing.
Thank you, Mitch.
Thank you.
Thank you, Spencer. Special committee reports and Everett Valley Joint Powers Board meeting June 26th at 4 p.m. here in Rancho Town Hall. We don't think we have anything from the fire district, so. Approval of the treasurer's report.
I think there's just like one move on there. Yep, so I transferred from from Expressville pay to the general fund. It's the only like transfer.
Motion to approve the treasurer's.
And so moved.
Second, second by Brian to approve the treasurer's report. Any more comments? Any more comments? All in favor of the treasurer's report? Say aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. Carries. Approval of the bills. You'll see there's a significant amount of payouts for the water line to like Northern Underground to the tune of like $433,000. That's the biggest unusual bill, I guess we should say. That's on the. Yeah, and there's the credit cards that we pay broken down. Other than that, I didn't see anything else that's, I would say, was out of the ordinary. So,
With so moved to approve bills at $541,274.59.
there's a second.
Jessica seconds.
Okay, Jessica seconds. Any more discussion? Any more discussion? Any discussion of the bills? All in favor of paying the bills, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed?
Aye.
Motion carries. Approval of payroll.
Make a motion to approve payroll of $38,648.35.
Moved and seconded by Brian to approve payroll. Any more discussion? Any more discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Future agenda items. And then we have one for the abandoned propane tanks, but we're not to that point yet. Doing that. Any other future agenda items? So I entertain a motion to adjourn.
I would so move.
I second.
Thank you very much. This meeting is adjourned. Thank you very much. Thank you all for coming.